Can I get you to introduce yourself, please?
I'm Claire McColgan, I'm Director of Culture at Liverpool City Council.
Now, we've just heard the grand news that we've got Eurovision coming to Liverpool. How does that make you feel?
Oh, it's just great. I mean, last night, when we heard the news last night, it kind of still was sinking in, so it still felt like we were sort of bidding, if that makes sense to people. And then this morning, I kind of woke up and went, and then, we've got it in my head. And then now, I'm just, all the adrenaline is kind of going, and I'm thinking, right, okay, I need to sleep before Monday.
Now, you've been involved with many of the big events, including the Giants. I remember walking along with the Giants in tow and you running along the side, trying to keep up and trying to organise everything. How big a task will this be? Will this top the Giants?
It's very different to Giants, because the Giants, it was us producing it with Royal Deluxe, who are an incredible organisation. With this, it's a real partnership between the city, the BBC and the EBU, who are the kind of people who put it on for Europe. So it's a kind of three-way relationship, and then obviously central government will be involved in this as well, because this is an event for the UK. So it is very different to Giants. But what I would say is that people think it is the show that is in this beautiful arena, and that's it. That's not it. It's like a huge thing for 3 months, and with us we'll make it even bigger, because we'll do a community programme, we'll have an education programme, we'll do things across the city region. It's much bigger than what people think of who don't really know Eurovision, who just see it on the television. So it is very different to Giants. It'll have very different logistics, but I'm not worried about delivering it, because there'll be 4 of us doing it as well, not just the City Council.
How important do you think it will be for local businesses in the city?
Oh, it's massive. I mean, I think hotels have already sold out. So, that was last night. Restaurants were being booked. I think that a friend of mine who runs an Airbnb, she just literally had to shut her computer down at one point last night. I think it'll just go ballistic. So I think it's going to be huge for the city and the region, because people can stay in Southport, can't they? They can be in here in 30 minutes. You stay in Birkenhead and be in here in 9 minutes. You stay in Manchester and be here in 40 minutes, 35 minutes on the train. So it'll be much bigger than just for Liverpool. But the economic impact, we've worked out the economic impact for Liverpool alone, Liverpool City region alone, will be about 30 million. And I don't think that's an underestimate, because I think that it'll just, from last night, from the feeling that came out last night, we may have underestimated that, which isn't like us, actually.
Now, how are we going to actually bring in Ukraine into this?
We've got massive plans. I mean, we started to talk with the DESA very early on in this process. One of the reasons why I was really interested in putting a bid in for Eurovision was that extra layer of the fact that it's not ours. Because it would be very easy for us to just da-da, and it's because we're very good at that. But what we're also really good at as a city is those different layers that you can put under things, and the compassion that this city has, that I absolutely love, the way it wraps its arms around people. And when the Ukrainian artists come over here, when we talk about Ukrainian culture, when we talk about peace actually, and how that music can bring people together through different languages, through different cultures. It is a common language, music, and it's a language of unity. And that for me is one of the major reasons why this city chose to bid. It's to do with the fact that music is a common language, isn't it? And that we can work with people across Europe on loads of different levels to kind of start thinking about peace, actually.
What was it? What was going through your mind when we actually heard we actually had it? Because everybody thought Glasgow had it in the bag.
Yeah, I mean, we were always the underdogs. I mean, we'd done a really good bid, and I was really proud of what we did. So you kind of have to protect yourself a little bit in it. You do kind of worst case scenarios, and you work out your response if it's... We didn't even... Well, we kind of had everything ready to go if we'd won. But the response that we were working out, the team that did it, was all if we hadn't. So we had some lovely shots of us, putting away the glitter and all of those kind of things. And we didn't need to use those. But I think what came in about 3 o'clock yesterday was the 2 responses from Odessa. And we've published the response, the winning response. But the response that made me cry and where we all in the office just lost it was the response if we hadn't have won. And I'm going to keep that, because that's what will remind me why we did it. Because their belief in us is really humbling. And I think That's how you kind of get yourself to this point. Competition's a competition, someone's always got to win. It might not have been us, but I needed to make sure that we'd done the absolute best bid that we could possibly have done for this city, because it doesn't deserve anything less.
And the most important question is, if anybody wants to get involved, how do they get involved to help the City Council out?
Well, there'll be a big volunteering programme. It's part of Eurovision, it's hugely popular. We're going to spend a couple of weeks just thinking through the next steps with it with the BBC. So we will go quiet for a couple of weeks. People, I'm sure, will be delighted about. I feel like I've talked quite a lot for the last 2 days. So we're going to go very quiet, get ourselves sorted, think about what's next, and then we'll start to talk about how people can get involved. But the main thing really is about volunteering. It's about, if you own a restaurant, think about what you could do to celebrate Ukrainian culture. Start if you run a school, what could you do in your school that is really Eurovision, that's kind of really get the kids excited about this brilliant European thing that we're doing. So there's lots of things people can do for themselves around it, and then we will kind of work through what the programme is when we start having those conversations with government and the BBC and EBU.
Well, congratulations, and we hugely look forward to Eurovision. And when is it?
May. It's in May, but the actual event, the show that you'll see, is in May. It'll start here pretty soon, I should imagine.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Can I get you to introduce yourself, please?
Hi, I'm Faye Dyer and I'm the Managing Director here at the ACC Liverpool Group.
And where were you when you actually heard the announcement that it was coming here?
I was at home, thankfully sitting down, because what an exciting announcement. I think I was probably in shock, for the first period of time. Absolutely fantastic. We are super excited to be hosting Eurovision 2023.
Now, this arena's played host to some big events, but never on this scale. How challenging is it going to be for you and your staff?
This is what we do. We've spent the last 14 years building up to this. We've already delivered some really big mega events. So whether that was, Netball World Cup a couple of years ago, we had Labour Party conference that was here just last week. We've had things like the Mobile Awards, the MTV Music Awards. So we are really well experienced in delivering mega events. And of course we do so in collaboration with Culture Liverpool and with the organiser. So this does not faze us. Yes, it is huge. Yes, there's a super amount of work that will get it going on in earnest next week. But we are event professionals and this is what we do for a living. So we're just really excited to get going and make this the best Eurovision ever and the best tribute to Ukraine.
Coming out of COVID, is this a huge relief getting something like this?
It is a big boost to the visitor economy. It is estimated to bring in something like £30 million to our visitor economy through hosting Eurovision. The PR value from it is huge. It was estimated last year to be something like £120 million, and that's about brand Liverpool and destination Liverpool, and that legacy really from a city region perspective. People will perhaps think of Liverpool in terms of inward investment or a visit in future in a different way to they would have done previously. So it's a much needed boost in what has been challenging times and continues to be so.
Are you going to have to take on extra staff?
So across our team and across the city events team, we've got real depth and flexibility. So we will be able to flex, if you like, for demand across different things to make sure that we can both successfully deliver Eurovision in a cost-effective way as possible, but that also we still give our full attention to all the other fantastic events that we've got coming up in the lead up to Eurovision, because we've got a really busy diary and lots of other fantastic things to deliver as well.
What's the other things that you're going to be delivering next year that you are looking forward to?
Oh gosh, there's a huge amount of stuff in the diary. So just thinking ahead over the next couple of months, I say we've got World Gymnastics coming up in a couple of weeks' time. We've then got some brilliant entertainment things. So whether it's Rod Stewart, the local artist Jamie Webster, who's fantastic. We've got Kaiser Chiefs coming up, so a really strong entertainment programme. And again, that continues as we move into next year. And then Eurovision will be the big event clearly in spring next year, which will just be absolutely fabulous for the city and the city region.
What's your biggest hope for Eurovision to achieve?
Leaving a legacy. And I think that legacy can sit in various different ways. So we will be looking at how we make this the most sustainable event, because that will be a real legacy. It's about making sure that we are attracting people into the industry that perhaps had not realised how fabulous the event industry is and that might then think about that as a career. It's about building those, really sustainable and local supply chains, whether that's employment, whether that's other things in terms of supply. It's about the educational programme that sits alongside it, and really taking that opportunity that we're building the legacy across all those different areas of the business and across our city region.
And lastly, if anybody wants to find out more about the M&S Bank Arena, where do they go?
Follow us on socials, I would say, so we're across all of the key social platforms, but we've also got our own website as well. And in the coming weeks there'll be a huge amount of additional information that goes on there around our existing programme and any changes too, and as we start to build up towards Eurovision, so keep your eye out on the website and across all of our socials.
Well, good luck, and good luck to all your staff.
Thank you, and thank you everybody, because this has been a true city and city region bid, so we've had so much support, so thank you very much for everybody for everything that you've done.
Can I get you to introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, I'm Bill Addy. I'm the Chief Executive of the Liverpool Bid Company.
Now, how important is it for local businesses?
Well, we know the impact this will have is going to be incredible for local businesses here in the city centre because of hotel rooms, restaurants, bars, cafes, service industries, all of that will be benefiting from it. But of course, it's not just what will the impact be for the city centre, it's the wider city and indeed the city region, because people will be staying in hotels right across the city region. So Southport, Wirral, St Helens, Knowsley, Holton, all will benefit from this.
How will Liverpool Bid actually fit into this?
So Liverpool Business Improvement District, we represent the businesses in the city centre. So we are directly involved in this because we're supporting the bid. We've put the private sector voice behind the bid. We've actually put private sector resource behind this to deliver it, to ensure that this will happen, because this won't happen if we don't work together as a team, if the business community and the public sector all work together to make sure this is delivered as a success, not just for the city during that period, but for longer term benefit from it.
How important is it to the general business community as well, not just the retail?
I think this whole issue around Liverpool representing Ukraine, supporting Ukraine as we deliver one of the best Eurovisions that will have been seen for many years, benefits the whole of the economy, because it delivers significant economic boost, it creates jobs, it creates long-term investment in the city, it changes the perception of the city. So the people, the Eurovision is watched by over 160 million people. There will be investors who will be looking at Liverpool thinking, well, actually, if Liverpool can deliver that, if Liverpool is chosen across all UK cities to be trusted to deliver, then we need to be able to see about how we can invest in the city as well, and how we can support the city. And so it will benefit all right across the city. And it just gives everybody such a boost, and it gives people something to be proud about for this city, that we can actually be trusted to deliver on behalf of the Ukraine Eurovision.
How do you think businesses can actually help Ukraine as well?
About recognising the fact that they obviously, this is happening because Ukraine is at war, because Russia has invaded, so there's a war there. We need to, as businesses, we all need to continue to support Ukraine, directly support, so our government is continuing to support. Sadly, when there's a war still going on, then Ukraine needs financial support for that, and we need to be able to say that actually we've got challenges in the UK economy around energy costs. We know a lot of that energy cost and those increases are caused because of the turmoil in the energy market caused by Russia's invasion. And so we in the UK business and in Liverpool business need to understand that actually the impact on our businesses is caused by external pressures. It's also caused by some internal pressures, but we need to be able to be willing to weather those impacts.
And if anybody wants to find out more about Liverpool Bid, where do they go?
They go to our website, which is www.liverpoolbidcompany.com. See our social media, our Instagram accounts, and just really come and have a look at that.
Are you doing any more updates on there for Eurovision?
We will be doing a regular updates on Eurovision, supporting our businesses. We'll be working very closely with the city and with the Arena Convention Centre, as we do work very closely with them already, because the city and the Convention Centre, Arena are all levy payers. They're all part of our new Culture and Commerce bid. We're delivering an accommodation bid, which is bringing all the hotels together to fund destination marketing and business subvention. And our retail core, our retail and leisure bid, is also going for ballot in the spring of next year. So there's lots of activity on the bid front as we keep bringing private sector businesses together to deliver a great city for them.
Thank you and good luck.
Thank you.